Hello, welcome to Delightful Stories with me, Dotty Delightful. I've decided that it'd be a really good idea to do a whole video about all the storybooks that I love. Now, I'm a grown-up, as you can see, but I still love children's stories, and very often I like having a bedtime story read to me as well. And if I've got nobody to read me a bedtime story, I like to sit in my book cupboard with Felicity. Do you remember Felicity, this one? Pedro, the superhero. He has a superhero cape. And I've got some new friends joining me as well from Story Monsters. This one is Tomo, and he's out of the story called Marky, all about a magnificent fairy. Isn't he lovely? And then along with him, I knew he was going to mess about. Sit still. Along with him, we've also got the Story Monster. He's very funny, isn't he? Look at him, he's got his Mohican, his little tufty, and he's got extra eyes as well. So Story Monster's here as well. So sometimes, if I've got nobody to read me a bedtime story, I sit in here and I read with these guys. So I want to show you my bestest ever favourite story. And if you've been following my channel for a long time, you'll remember this one from a few years ago. It's called Wild by Emily Hughes, and I just love it. Wild is such a good story, and it's you cannot tame something that's so happily wild, and it reminds me of me, the little girl in it. She's just like me, and she lives in the forest with all the wild creatures. There she is with crow and bear. She's a little baby, and fox. And she grows up in the wild, and then eventually humans come and take her into a house, and she's not used to that. Now, if you want to hear this whole story, I'll pop the link to the other video below this one, and you can go and listen to the full story of Wild. That's my best ever favourite book, and I read it over and over again. Now, I want to tell you about a new book. It's called Merlin's Magical Journey, The Rose Garden, and this is by Louise Winstanley. And this is Merlin. Merlin is a unicorn, and he lives in a land of unicorns like no other. Mindfulness, magic and mystery. This book's all about a journey of friendship. So shall we have a little look at Merlin's magical journey? Sorry Felicity, you can't quite see there, can you? The Rose Garden, grounded and safe, a mindful story to evoke feelings of inner security and safety in times of fear, by Louise Winstanley. A simple guide to using this book. Create a safe space. We've got a nice safe space here in the book cupboard, haven't we? Read with your child. I don't have any children anymore. Well, I do, but they're all grown up now, so I'm going to read to you instead. Help your child build resilience to feelings of insecurity and fear. We all feel like that, don't we? Even as grown-ups sometimes. And use mindful practices as and when you need to become more present and self-assured. Sounds good to me. Oh no! Something unfortunate has happened in the Rainbow Castle Kingdom. The magnificent rainbow colours of Merlin's unicorn tribe have vanished. Look at them all, they're all white now. No more bright and bubbly, cheery unicorns. Instead, they feel sad, afraid, and can no longer help children awaken their potential. But why, I hear you ask? They are fearful that children don't believe in their magical abilities anymore. Not just children either, grown-ups too. Do you want to get in on this, Felicity? She keeps nuzzling up. Merlin is the best hope for children to feel safe and happy again. And he still has all his magical rainbow colours to help guide you. Look. Do you think you can help Merlin bring back the sparkle to Rainbow Castle Kingdom? I do. Merlin believes that you have the courage, creativity, wisdom and self-belief to take this journey with him to recover the unicorn tribe's missing colours. Are you with him? Yes, let's go. What is my challenge? So here's a magnifying glass and you've got the clues to help you on this journey with Merlin. Clue number 1 is the first colour of the rainbow. Do you know what it is? It's red. You'll need to remember it on your journey. And then you follow the instructions below. We can begin the journey. So you go on this journey with Merlin and you've got to take a look around and you've got to find the clues. And here's another clue, a rose. This one's red as well. And then when you look and find the clues, you get to say some special words and Merlin's magic gets activated. And then when you help the children, you get to carry on and you get to enter the Rainbow Castle Kingdom and you see the other unicorns. And then you carry on with your feelings of feeling safe and your affirmations for the night and you go to bed and have a really good sleep. And there's a map of the Rainbow Castle Kingdom. We love a map, don't we? And there's Louise, the person who wrote the book. And she tells you all about herself in the back of the book and where you can find her. And I'll pop her website and all her links in the description below. So if you want to go on this magical journey with Merlin, you can do. You can get this book from her website. I'll pop the links down below. So that's that one. Isn't it good? A new book. And then this next one is Marky, the Magnificent Fairy. And this one's written by Cynthia Kern O'Brien. She looks a little bit familiar. Who does she look like? With her stripy socks and her auburn hair and her glasses. Oh, and look who that is. Do you remember him? Marky, the Magnificent Fairy. I'll have to sit this way now. There was once a woodland fairy named Marky. She was a magnificent little fairy. During the day, Marky liked to play in the woods with her friends, and at night she loved watching the fireflies dance above her head as she fell asleep. Oh, I think I'd like that. They'd be pretty, wouldn't they? Marky couldn't fly like the other fairies. Let's turn this way. Felicity, you keep falling on me. Why? Why couldn't she fly like the other fairies? Well, one of her wings was very small. That made her different from the fairies in the woods. But Marky loved her small wing. She thought it was beautiful. Marky was a magnificent little fairy. Sometimes the other woodland creatures would make fun of her. They would laugh at her small wing or say mean things about the colour of her hair. Some even teased her about her freckles, and they whispered and pointed because she wore glasses. That happened to me when I was a little girl. When I was a little girl, I had freckles and glasses and auburn hair, and I got picked on too, not by woodland creatures but by other children. That really hurt Marky's feelings. It would, wouldn't it? It'd make you feel sad. But Marky was fearless. She marched right up to the woodland creatures and proclaimed, "I'm not that different from you." Oh, she was feisty, wasn't she? Marky might not be able to fly, but she could do lots of other things. She could tap dance. She could draw. She could sing. She could do most anything. Marky was a magnificent little fairy. "I'm more like you than you know," Marky explained. "And just like you, I have hopes and dreams." Marky was going to be a fashion designer one day. She wanted to make stylish clothes for all her friends. Is this book about me? I wanted to be a fashion designer when I was a girl. Marky was a magnificent little fairy. There were other fairies and elves who were magnificent, just like Marky. They had exceptional qualities, some visible and some invisible, and they had hopes and dreams too. And they were also kind friends. There was Marky's friend Jojo. He was unable to walk, so he sat in a wheelchair. He had an exceptional quality that was visible, but Jojo loved to read books. His dream was to be a doctor when he grew up. Nixie was also magnificent. Her exceptional quality was invisible. She was deaf. That didn't mean she couldn't hear. Cut. She was deaf. That meant she couldn't hear. Nixie loved to play games. Her dream was to be a dog trainer. And then there was Fancy. She was magnificent too. Her exceptional quality was loud. Sometimes she stuttered or couldn't control her movements. Fancy's dream was to be a famous singer when she grew up. Marky wanted everyone to understand that creatures were magnificent. All creatures were magnificent. They had hopes and dreams, and they were just the way they were, perfect. And being kind was what mattered most. Marky wasn't that different from all of them. "We're sorry, Marky," said the woodland creatures in unison. "We shouldn't have teased you. We are just like you. We have hopes and dreams too. We want to be your friend." That's nice, isn't it? Marky, being a magnificent little fairy, was thrilled by their kindness. She was very happy to make new friends who understood that everyone deserves to feel accepted and loved. The end. That's a lovely book. Do you like that? I think you did. Oh dear. So I didn't say hello to Wilbur earlier because he was asleep. What's the matter, Wilbur? Can you see him? What is it? Oh, you're a little bit sad because we've not read your favourite story. Don't worry, it's coming soon. There, sit with your friend. Oh dear. Tomo's a little bit naughty, he keeps falling off. And Felicity's just gone to sleep now. Story monsters among us. Who does this look like? So this is a book all about story monsters. Where they came from. All in the ancient past. It's like a cartoon book. It's pretty cool. Into the future. Present day. So that's another cool book that you can get. And this one's written by Conrad J. Storad. And this has got images, drawings of the story monster in it. Here we go. This is Wilbur's favourite book. Gator Gator, second grader. Classroom pet or not? This is also by Conrad J. Storad. Sorry, Felicity, you'll have to sit up a bit. And this one is quite fun. It's all about pets. All different ones and strange ones that you wouldn't normally have as a pet, like an alligator. This is Wilbur's favourite story, but we're not reading it today, Wilbur. We're just showing the people all a different book. And then this one, Sparkly Shoes and Picnic Parties by Sophie Tilley, reminds me of me and my friend Cooler, because she has blonde hair and I have auburn hair. And this is a lovely story. I really love the illustrations in this one. It's been well loved and well looked at. I think it was well loved and well looked at before I got it. I just love the illustrations in it. It's so cute. And I imagine if me and Cooler were little girls, this is the fun that we'd have had. dancing around, picnics by the river, dressing up. I love that one. And then we've got a classic, The Comic Muppet Book by Jim Henson. Oh my gosh, I've had this for years. It was originally 99p and it's from the year 1979, which is 3 years after I was born. So this book is 45 years old. 45 years old, and it's a comic strip all about the Muppets. It's well cool. It's one of my treasured possessions, this one. And then lastly is this one, Look and Find Dogs and Cats. And this is an Osborne book. This has got a really funny story. I was in a charity shop one day and I saw this on a pile and I thought, oh, that'll be fun for me and Tom. Tom's my partner, he's 47 and I'm 48, and I thought this will be fun. And we spent a real fun evening looking for all the different things. So in this book it asks you, like, which two dogs are in love, or can you spy puppies with 4 legs and stuff like that. And you've got to go through, so there's dogs on some pages and then there's cats on other pages, and it's actually really fun to do. And if you think I'm bonkers, it's totally fine. I am bonkers. Never grow up is what I say. So I really loved that book. And some of the things, I mean, at first we were like, oh, this is so easy, but some of the things are actually really difficult. So that's the last one. So that's a small selection of some of the books that we sit and we read in the reading cupboard. Did you enjoy that, Felicity? Oh, she's tired now, she needs a nap. If you've got any books that you think we would love in the reading cupboard, let us know in the comments. Which children's books do you love? Or any books, which books do you love? Any at all. I think Wilbur's ready for a little sleep as well now. So thanks for joining us in the reading cupboard. I'll link the books down below, so if you want a copy and read them all through, you can get one of your own. And I will see you soon.